Not a fantastic way to begin your reigns as the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. If your name is Eric Chell, we all expected 6 points out of 2 games, but ended up with just 4. And the heartbreaking result was that draw at home to lowly Zimbabwe. And let's just hope that maybe via miracle or fate, the Super Eagles of Nigeria can still make it to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Welcome to Premium Sport right here on PBO TV. I'm always excited to have you there join us right here for this show. I am the amazing Kingsley. I've got my wonderful fellows right here with me, Bolo Omonidi and Chijoke Ziali. Decided to do a partnership today. Maybe they are ganging up against me, maybe it's against Eric Chell, maybe it's the NFF, but as you can see, their outfit looks very similar. Uncles, how you doing?
I don't know what that means.
But I'll probably even look more similar.
How?
But we're three of us are putting on black trousers.
Black and white.
No. You're
Have you noticed three trousers
yes,
are black?
Black shoes.
But are you guys money? Are you guys money?
Black, and but
are you money?
I'm not on.
They have multiple colors to me.
Yeah, there's white.
Look at this.
Well, he's all black. He's all black.
Okay.
So
what's the celebration?
Even Nigeria don't reach to celebrate. And, I'm sure if we start to talk about that game from intro, we'll probably do our intro here too.
Sincerely.
It's bad.
Sincerely. Last week I supported Nigeria. Wore a bit of the Nigerian flag.
You wore a bit of your face.
Did you jinx?
Did
you jinx?
I did actually. Maybe if I continue to predict that Nigeria would lose, maybe they would have won.
Please, from
maybe I should just keep saying they will lose.
September.
So maybe they will start winning.
Okay, I know June is a friendly game. I think September is where the World Cup. Just be against us.
So that we can try that.
Yeah,
we can try that. But honestly, I expected Nigeria to win those games. And like Bolu said, we'll start dwelling on that.
Do you know that Malcolm X phrase? Chicken has come home to roost. No, there's no chicken, there's no home, and there's no roost. It's just one show, Premium Sport, right here on PBO TV. We'll do a short break. When we come back, the show will get into full swing. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. It's still Premium Sport right here on PBO TV with the amazing Kingsley, Chijoke Ziali, and Bolu Omoniji. Let's get into news beats. Let's let you know that in Formula 1, Red Bull have delivered one of the most ruthless driver moves in F1 history after deciding to drop Liam Lawson after just 2 races. Yes, you heard that right. Just 2 races. The 23-year-old New Zealander will swap places with Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda and return to Red Bull's second team. Racing Bulls from the next race in Japan in a week's time. The decision was reached by Red Bull's bosses, including team principal Christian Horner, at a meeting in Dubai. I think I'll do this a bit differently. Before the next story, I'll just ask you guys, does this have anything to do with Mad Max? Because I heard that Verstappen is not even happy about this decision.
It's a brutal decision. Brutal. It was shocking. After just two races, it's crazy. Never been seen, never been done.
If it's going like that means others should probably relegate it. I think it's just more like they brought up a rookie thinking it will work, and they think it will not work. Because I can't say it's not working.
After 2 races,
it's just 2 races. That's why it's brutal.
Because even Mad Max
was
brutal.
brutal.
What has it done in the 2 races? Nothing.
Yes,
it was brutal.
So why didn't they drop Mad Max as well? I think it's more of there's more to it than the race. I don't think it's based on the racing because the third driver, what has that one?
But they didn't mention any disciplinary issues or anything, so it's crazy.
In-house technically, or
they did not greet somebody. Okay, over to tennis. 5-time major champion Iga Swiatek was on the end of a monumental shock. As a Filipina teenager, Alexandra Ayala continued her dream run to reach the Miami Open semi-finals. Second seed Swiatek, playing with increased security in Miami after being verbally abused by an aggressive and taunting fan, was completely out of sorts as she lost 6-2, 7-5 to the world number 140. Wow, quite a lot of shockers happening in the world of sports. Let's do another break. When we come back, everything Naija on Naija Flavor. We'll be back. Welcome back, guys. It's time for Naija Flavor right here on PBOTV. You guys need to know what happens behind the camera. I just wish one day we'll get to play most of the things that we do behind the cameras, and then you know that all of these guys are really not as well as you think they are. Guys, let's get into it real quick. I know that you are itchy to talk about the Super Eagles, but let's start from the positives before we get into the negative. The positive should be the movement of some of our top stars, which we hear that Manchester United are in for Ademola Lookman, 50 million euros.
Should go to a top club.
United is a top club. Fantastic team.
Is or was?
Getting there. But we're getting back to becoming a top club.
If UEFA should do like 5 tiers of European competition, United
For the last 5 years, well, agreed. But United, it's rebuilding, it's coming back. I don't know will be perfect for United.
Yeah. United,
perfect for United.
United, Julius Berger, keep building.
Okay. How about Victor Boniface? We hear that Victor Boniface also might get to leave Bayer Leverkusen, and then they are looking at maybe Florian Wirtz also doesn't get to sign an extension to his contract. They also leave, and I've seen like 4 or 5 different names also that they are trying to push out. This is a case of maybe Xabi Alonso might leave. The manager that they are looking at, is he looking to do maybe an overhaul of the team?
Well, you can't do an overhaul of a young squad, so it's more like the reports are already there that Alonso should take over from Ancelotti at the Bernabeu. There were also reports that Real Madrid didn't sign any midfielder because they are thinking of Florian Wirtz to join Alonso in the summer as Cruz's replacement. So, if these reports are true, Boniface leaving, Alonso leaving, Florian Wirtz leaving. If I'm in my final year, I'll probably just chill as well. Let me see what's coming next. Let me see the manager coming. If you hear it correct, something like what Rafinha did with Barcelona, I think I want to leave. Then the coach called me, okay, stay, okay, make I see what you happen. If not, I will leave. Now, Rafinha is not going anywhere. So probably that could be going through the minds of many players. Some players don't even want to try out any new manager at all. If he breaks, I move. If he works, I stay. So that's probably what's going on with them. But Boniface, since the transfer saga, his starting place has been shaking.
Yeah.
Then when he got injured and Patrick Schick came out of nowhere and started scoring goals, his starting jersey started reducing. Then since the fight with I think it was Benny or his teammates, his problem is even getting worse. So I think it's almost the surest to leave come summer.
I think Patrick Schick also said if Boniface stays this season, he will leave. So that puts pressure on Leverkusen to try to sell him. I think that's why they were open to selling himself in January. Because of the disciplinary issue. Remember, he had an accident because he wasn't concentrating while driving.
He's a content creator.
So he stays more on social media, and they want seriousness. And Madrid might be disappointed, but Alonso might not go this season.
You should ask
this season.
You should ask people like the guy.
So it might not go because I'm also hearing that he wants to stay 1 more year because Ancelotti also wants to stay 1 more year. So there's this, but again, there's another angle with the Ancelotti team. Brazil is coming in, so maybe Brazil takes Ancelotti away, he goes to. So it's really funny. There's a triangle there already.
Okay, I think I caught something for what you said. Boniface being irresponsible because he had an accident.
He was irresponsible. That's why the accident happened.
Okay, and I remember that on this set. Someone had an accident not too long ago, but
that was an accident, a proper accident.
Another one, some people were caught while trying to have an accident.
I don't get that.
He was talking about a unanimous picture.
Okay. Is it
video? Pictures can lie sometimes, but video.
Videos also lie.
Okay, please try to follow Bolo Money on all the social media platforms. Maybe you drop the video, it might be incriminating. You might get to see some things.
And leather suits might be following.
Okay, I don't care. Other names of guys are most likely Bayer Leverkusen: Alex Garcia, Jonas Hoffman, Matej Kova, Arthur, and Odilon Kusono. These they are all free to leave the club at the end of the season. Now, Eric Chell, that name, you get to hear that name quite a lot on the show much later. But Eric Chell, he has confirmed Russia-Ghana friendlies in June for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And people saw this season, there was really no excitement because of the heartbreak of Zimbabwe.
Please, why is Chell that is confirming friendly? When did coaches start confirming friendly for Nigeria?
I don't even know why we're playing Russia.
And ahead of the World Cup.
I don't even know why we're playing Russia because
we need to play them ahead of World Cup.
No, I understand.
Russia chose us.
I know.
Nigeria
They played Zambia recently.
They don't want to spend money.
They trashed Zambia.
But honestly, why are we playing Russia?
Why can't we play Russia?
I don't understand that friendly. It's a friendly, yes. But
Why is Russia paying us?
okay, but maybe why did they choose us?
We don't get money to host
Are they
friendly.
doing us a favor?
Yes, everybody play. Nigeria no one spend money to play friendly. That's the thing. That's why every Tom Dick and Harry that tells us come and play, yes, we go for it. Because Nigeria should. Brazil at the elite stage that Brazil don't even organize friendly matches.
Yeah, and they do
We
matches
call
mostly,
them.
yeah.
So now why can't we call Brazil? We don't want to spend money. I'm sure Brazil will gladly play in Nigeria, but we won't play them because we don't want to spend money. We won't call Argentina for friendly, the world champions. We don't want to spend money. We won't even call the likes of Morocco.
But I'm happy
That's why
with
we
the
always
friendly,
playing. If you want to organize friendly, you see Lesotho and the likes. So any country that calls us is what we are going for. That's why most of our friendlies, you hear them in Holy Pilgrimage. You hear we want to go and play. Oh, wait, we want to go and play this, or because they are the ones inviting, and we have to honor.
Wow, I think this is also another part of why maybe our football is where it is. I know a lot of times people just blame the players and they maybe blame the coach.
No,
It's the target.
Those in the office are probably doing worse than what. It's why I said when Lovich asked the state's sport minister said it then that if you don't play well, you won't get paid. I'm like, guy, you are talking nonsense. Are you doing your job well? If you are doing your job well, would the club be playing at 4 different venues in one season?
Absolutely.
So those in the boardroom, they are probably worse. They are probably worse.
But in fairness to the NFF, under P League, they had quality friendly games. So maybe.
Okay. So at least for the first time I'm hearing maybe a CJ talk doing there about Amaju Pinnick. One thing I love guys used to talk about Pinnick was that he was holding too many portfolios, even as the NFF president. But at least he got us quality friendlies and not friendlies in very, very strange lands. Okay, guys, let's wrap up on Niger flavor. We hear we'll get to the South African coach talking about him using Mokoena and all of that when we get to hot gist. We hear former PSG forward Pascal Neumann rating Victor Osimhen above Icardi, Dzeko and Immobile. I think that's common sense and common knowledge. It's better than all the strikers.
Rating them now.
Yes, I think it's just now.
And then Dogu, good news. Manchester United, CJ's club. He has asked Man United to recognize his Nigerian roots. Yeah, Dogu, who plays for Norway. Yeah,
No, Denmark.
Denmark. Okay, Denmark.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know it's a Scandinavian country. Who plays for Denmark? He said he wishes to be recognized as Patrick Chinaze Kwere Dogu. Wow, and Chinaze Kwere is an Igbo name meaning God answers prayers. So why is he putting his Igbo name and not playing for Nigeria?
I think that's something I can't answer. But he started playing for Denmark from a very young age. So maybe now he realizes that
He realizes the trend
Nigerian
for
part
Nigeria.
of him is missing.
Or the Nigerian trend online.
That's another thing.
Because
People want to identify with
he wasn't
Nigeria.
giving the name yesterday.
To be fair, people want to identify with Nigeria. But you just want Man United to mention it in their.
It's even good. Many
on
Nigerians,
their website,
most
so.
of us didn't even know he had any Nigerian roots until this. So,
And
he's
people
doing
are
it
still
right.
doubting what Dogu actually means, whether it's Nigeria or it's just an African name and stuff. So I think
Like
people
fake
have to make it
Dogu.
clear.
Okay, that's the cue. Let's touch on a few other things so that we know that when we do another break, it will be time for hot gist and we'll dive into the Super League. That's when it's hot pepper soup. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's talk about the World Cup 2026 FIFA World Cup. Whilst we are still praying and fasting and struggling to qualify for the World Cup, some teams have already booked their place and sealed the tickets to the World Cup. And these teams are not part of the host, not United States, not Mexico, and not Canada. These teams are Iran. Iran has qualified for the World Cup. Japan has qualified for the World Cup. New Zealand have booked the spot at the Mondial. And then the almighty Argentina, who are the defending champions. Who else should book a place if not the defending champions? Bolo Money, off your microphone. FIFA have confirmed that the Club World Cup winner could earn up to a staggering $125 million.
Hey.
And that's, I think, $125 million.
Roughly,
if we do,
maybe 200. Are you converting to naira?
yeah, that's
like
100
and something million.
No, 197 point something billion naira.
Give me that up, a little 200 million.
200 million. I said billion.
Oh, a billion. I didn't say. I wanted to say billion.
You were saying million now.
No, million. Okay. Million.
So that's like 197 or something billion, if my mathematics is right. And the total prize
Crazy
money is $1 billion. That's what they have that they want to
That's
share.
roughly 1.5 trillion.
Wow, that's absolutely crazy. Okay, former River Plate striker.
Send that message where don't be a club. Send it where.
Carlo, they are listening.
I calculated the money that La Liga made from Club World Cup. They made over $20 million.
They are listening.
NPFL club want to go concert. Concert that you don't even make group stage. Why not try and win?
Okay. Former River Plate striker Carlos Moret has urged the club to sign Manchester City star Kevin De Bruyne when his contract expires this summer. River Plate. When there's money to make at Saudi Arabia.
And his wife is already eyeing Saudi.
River Plate. Go. Ocean boys. Okay. There are a few issues here and there, but I think we'll just leave that and then jump straight into games that we'll be having in the coming days. We've got FA Cup in England this weekend. Fulham, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Preston, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Man City. I think the pick of the bunch will be... the games will all be tough, but I know a lot of persons will be looking at Man City playing against high-flying Bournemouth who score goals aplenty. Because it's the quarterfinals, I don't think teams will rest players again.
No. Your head is not correct if you rest players. Why are you resting players in cup that you are? What are you playing for? I always tell people that Man City can afford to rest. Chelsea, Chelsea to an extent, Liverpool and Arsenal. You cannot win the league. Why are you resting players? What is Bournemouth resting players for? Just go all out. This
Europe, they can qualify for Europe.
Which Europe?
Is it not better to qualify for Europe? Okay, if you win the FA Cup,
Yeah,
I think you qualify for the Europa League. Yes.
So see what Newcastle did. No matter where Newcastle finish, they are going to Europe.
But that's the conference league.
Their position now will not determine which of the Europe. So go all out for any cup, especially when you get to this stage. You know, a Man City will want to think about the league. Man City may choose to rest a few players. Go all out and see if you can beat them.
They too will play because
City will not rest players. They are not winning the
They
league.
might want to, and even at their best, with their best players, they are still
strong
formed.
this season.
So who says Bournemouth shouldn't go all out?
The one that looks easy there is the
Preston, Aston Villa.
But that game will be tricky.
But for
Very
Villa,
tricky.
Villa are still in the Champions League.
And some of their players also went for the their international break.
So they might Preston might shock them because Preston are playing at home.
That's the magic of the FA Cup.
I'm sure Preston as a club don't even want to play at home. You know the monies you make when
Yeah. Brighton, Nottingham Forest. The Nottingham Forest put 7 past Brighton a few months back, but now they'll be playing, not at Nottingham's home ground, but at Brighton's. Brighton's maybe payback.
It's possible, but definitely not 7.
but I'm looking at Nottingham also stretching that one to maybe penalties and winning it. Because they don't have any other team to play for apart from.
They are third though. Nottingham Forest are third. Nottingham they would rather stay third.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. Why do I need the FA Cup?
If they win the cup, you know what to mean for that City because they won the Champions League in the past.
Back to back.
They used to be that very
That
big
was
club.
the OD
So
that
if
ages.
they get an FA Cup to this season.
So if you were Nuno Espirito Santo,
No.
you prioritize the FA Cup than qualify for the Champions
What I'm
League.
saying is, if they win a cup, it will be a plus for
Yeah,
them.
I agree.
And it will just rekindle some memories for fans. We saw what happened with Newcastle. 70 years, 80 years, it's joy.
You qualify against the river.
You will not do it.
No. For this
But you
new,
remember.
for this new format that you have top 8 qualifying and then the next 16.
By next season,
Everybody
by next season, the big teams will definitely
They will
have a
play
different
better.
approach than this season. You know that this season it was more like we go rough and
Let's
easy go.
see, let's
Now
chase.
they don't get sense. So next season the big teams
Let's
are
chase.
they will definitely be wiser than this season.
A bit of sad news for Nottingham Forest. New Zealand qualifying for the World Cup came at a cost. Chris Woods injured. And he has been their best player this season. Okay, you're already thinking FPL. I'm also thinking FPL too. Okay, Fulham, Crystal Palace, maybe for our Nigerian brothers, Alex Iwobi Kaviba, a good way to take their minds off the disappointment of the Super Eagles drawing at home to Zimbabwe. Maybe beat Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, very solid side under glass now. They can get the job done on their day.
Matita have been doing so well as always, being the superstar for them anyway, any day, anytime. It's more like it's a London derby first off, and it's an evenly balanced match. One of the games that are probably difficult to predict, similar to the Forest and Brighton game, but it's hard to pick up any derby. Like they say, in derby games, form is thrown out the window. And after international break, nobody has form.
Yeah.
Come back home, whoever lights up the game first get the goal. That's why in games like this, you hardly see more than 2-3 goals in post-international break games.
And the Mateta you mentioned too is coming back after the game.
Yeah, good one. Now we also have league games a couple of days after the weekend. But I'll just pick two and with significance. 12-point gap. Liverpool Arsenal. Liverpool play the Merseyside derby against Everton. Arsenal hosts the Fulham side, who would have played the FA Cup this weekend. So I think, is it advantage Arsenal?
Yeah, advantage Arsenal. Definitely advantage Arsenal. And I think that is very smart in the sense that they don't concede a lot of goals. So I think they will stifle Fulham.
And many Arsenal players didn't even go for international break.
Okay.
So they had lots of rest.
No, they did.
You said a lot. You said a lot.
Monterrey, Trossard on international break. I think the only person that didn't go was Gabriel Martinelli. Every other Partey was man of the match in Ghana's 2 games. Merino scored for Spain.
But the point is,
Odegaard made 3 assists for Norway. In
but the point is
that
the point is that they will be
fresher. Yes, he went for
but
Brazil.
they will be fresher actually. That's the main point.
How?
They will be fresher because they will not play this weekend.
I think that's
And they will not play this weekend. So
Bolu making it sound as if they didn't go for.
let me try.
There's no.
It's only Martinelli.
Even some of the players that when they play like.
Timber was injured.
Yeah.
Timber got injured at the Dutch national team. Calafiori picked up an injury and then was sent back.
Okay, so let's see. It's a tight one, but I expect us to still win that particular one. Liverpool to also.
They struggled against Fulham in the last 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Fulham with the mind down still equalize them with one of the.
But Fulham will play the FA Cup in the weekend, so I think
that's what I'm looking at.
Concentrate more on the FA Cup and then maybe use the French players against Arsenal. So that works for Arsenal. Just like the
Ochilala.
I like this
Need I remind you that Arsenal women knocked out Real Madrid women from the Champions League, and then Arsenal have made it to the last 4.
I don't even know what the hell happened.
It's small.
You would know.
The last time I came,
Bolu would not know.
The last time I care about the women's Champions League. For women's game, I care about the national team. For the club sides, the last time I cared about the women's Champions League was when Asisa was in Barcelona. Immediately she left, I still cared that season because they won and she still won. Since then, I don't even know what's going on.
Anything about women, I care. I must care.
Arsenal fans were so numb for the first leg.
No.
Yeah, they lost.
And the funny thing is, it is. I know only 2 or 3 people that always talk about it. Even the Madrid women, I don't know when they play. Until maybe when they win, they want.
But you guys lost.
But it was a good one for Arsenal.
Yes.
I liked what I saw.
God bless you.
From the
Arsenal lost
it's
to
so bad. Arsenal women team shouldn't be losing to Real Madrid.
Oh, why?
Yes.
Arsenal
women should
They didn't play 11-11.
Oh, nice 11-11.
Oh, okay. Wait. Let me ask you.
Arsenal women have been existing before I was.
Okay, so but can Arsenal men lose to Madrid men?
No, Madrid men shouldn't lose to Arsenal men.
Okay, so if Madrid men should
it's a disgrace if Arsenal should qualify in that game.
Okay, good. I think we'll hold it.
Everybody knows that. Is that even a question? Everybody knows. Even you know.
The last time Arsenal played Real Madrid, they beat Real Madrid.
Was it a disgrace?
Okay. Offset.
In a disgrace.
Offset.
That disgrace.
Bundesliga: Frankfurt, Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, Wolfsburg, Dortmund, Mainz, Bayern, St. Pauli. La Liga: Espanyol, Atletico, present me of this night. Real Madrid, Leganes, Barcelona, Girona, Valencia, Mallorca. These are games that we should expect this weekend.
Girona, Barcelona 4-4.
Serie A, Como, Empoli, Juventus, Genoa, Fiorentina, Atalanta, Napoli, AC Milan as the pick of the bunch. Can we do another break? When we come back, it will be time for hot gist. Eric Hill will most definitely be on the front burner. We'll be back. Welcome back, guys. It's time for hot gist. Before we went on that break, I told you guys that Eric Hill will be on the front burner. Can the Super Eagles still qualify for the 2026 World Cup?
Okay, let me sit well. Let's start like this. People have given different reasons why. Mathematically, yes, but sensically, I think no. People have spoken about how we go beat South Africa. I said, if you see South Africa play, we should be scared as Nigerians. The only way Nigeria can qualify now, at first, we need to win all 4 games, and South Africa must not win more than 2. If we see the 2 nations, who looks like the one that can lose? Obviously, Nigeria. Then people came up with even the coach here telling can finish second. Yeah, we can finish second.
Kids, have you seen the table of the second
Yeah,
place teams?
there's,
Only
there's,
4 can qualify.
There's 15.
Gabon already have 15 points.
Yes.
About 1 has 13.
There's 12,
About 4
12,
teams have 12, 12, 12,
and
12.
11.
And even if you qualify, the teams will likely play. If it ends now and we finish second now, based on now, we may drop to 5th on the table, depending on the outcome of that South Africa drama. But as of now, the team that is second in our group is Rwanda or Benin. Both of them same points. They are 8th on the table.
So they are not even top 4.
Not even top 6 or 7. So if they now say, okay, Nigeria are the best team based on love and citizenship and population, let's push them to second. If it ends now, we likely play Senegal, Cameroon, and those guys. On paper, who among those guys can we beat? As of what we see now. So mathematically, yes, we can qualify. But sensically, I don't think. And South Africa's 4 games, they're playing them at home.
Yeah, because
Even the away for those ones, they're still playing in SA.
Lesotho also are playing in South
Let's
Africa.
prepare for 2030.
2030.
Morocco, Portugal, and Spain.
But Bolu, there's a let me even take CJ on that. Based on what Bolu said, there's a caveat to that if it happens that I've heard Lesotho have asked for sanctions on South Africa for playing an Egypt player, I bet they've also withdrawn it because of their bilateral relationships since they are using South Africa for their home games.
They're probably not playing for the stadium.
I can't crazy. Should anybody even be writing petition?
So now, if it happens that South Africa dropped 3 points, they move from 13, they drop to 10, and you add the 3 points with Lesotho, who will move.
Yeah, we drop to 5th on the table.
9 points. So at that point, we have 10, 9, 8,
7.
Now 7. We're on 7. We don't need help from anybody.
No, we still need help.
No, we don't need. If we beat all our 4 games, not minding whatever happens anywhere, the Super Eagles will be top
based on the head-to-head with
South
Africa.
Super will be top of it.
It's very easy the way we calculate. I did one post after the game. I posted the calculator on my status and people asking me why did I post the calculator, and I'm like, it is time. I just did a bit of that right now, calculating. Yes, the CAF disciplinary committee would look at the claims of the yellow card and see.
It should be FIFA, not even CAF.
No, it's CAF because they're the ones. It was CAF that sanctioned Nigeria. It happened to us in 2018.
Algeria.
Shewa Abdullah against Algeria.
So they would look at it and see if the claims are true and they will do it. It's not even something that's
hold that up. First of all,
but
the player has to be daft not to know you are supposed to be suspended. The team and the nation. Why would you know?
Why
would you know?
Let me explain why.
It's presence of mind. You should know I have the card. Except you don't know the rule as a player.
There's a part in the rule that states that every card is being cancelled after a certain round. So if the qualifiers was like first round, second round, like they have in Asia. So if you pick up 2 yellow cards in the first round in Asia, when you move to the second round, they cancel it. Now let's not forget.
We know that one round we
get. The first round of games or the first match that was played in 2023 before the AFCON. So there's every possibility of maybe a player or even people who are supposed to do this job to believe that, okay, because we've had the African Cup of Nations after these qualifiers, maybe that yellow card
their head is not
might
correct.
not get come into play again.
It's like I played the opening group stage of Champions League in when did they play? August. So if I now play the last in playoff, like Jude Bellingham got suspended, I now assume that the card. No, the rule of each competition are different. In England, they play, if you count the in England, they play about 5 or 6 different competitions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Let's put it into perspective. The thing is,
especially the team. I'm not putting all of Mokwena himself. I'm just saying, but the team. I mean, the federation, all of them should have people that keep record of these things.
Yes.
Then what about match commissioners?
It's just like normal, like in schools, they have exams and records.
Exactly.
There are teams or a department that keeps record of cards and all this stuff. They've not done their job. Now there is no rounds. It's just one
straight.
Yeah,
so that they have fun in between.
Yeah, so it might be long.
Is it not to confuse anybody?
Yeah, it might be. No, it's not. They are professionals.
World Cup qualifiers it's not even the same as AFCON qualifiers. Talk less of AFCON itself.
So it's a World Cup qualifier. So the records, the people that are keeping the records actually faulted. So that's for them.
Then what about even the organizers? It means I can come with it. It means I can. They
How would
should.
they inform you?
They will not inform you.
How would they not
They
penalize
can't inform you. So
I should know that I should not allow you.
That means I can play an unregistered player.
I will get penalized.
Yes, now they'll find you because
But we
they
know
set
they
the
fine for
rules.
you.
They set the rules. So, but the thing is, South Africa, yes, it might not hurt them too much because it just gives every other team a chance to qualify. Like Ganacho said the other time.
They've opened it up now.
Yeah, so
Because
if
Lesotho, if they do, Lesotho will be 1 point behind them.
so if they get the players suspended, if they get the 3 points deducted, it gives everybody a chance. But will Nigeria take it?
Lesotho withdrawing their charge. I don't trust them in their game against South Africa.
No, how would you trust? I've not trusted them from the beginning now.
You know, then it still feels like okay. But now I don't trust them.
They will lose wherever they play in South Africa. Wherever, whether it's Bloemfontein or Johannesburg, anywhere.
It's football. You.
And they will lose.
No, I'm not saying the football itself. I'm saying they themselves. For you to ignore the chance of you going to the World Cup, what's the assurance they will play well when they meet South Africa? Because if they do that, it means they'll be 1 point behind South Africa, but they have a good chance.
If they withdraw they should just forget about it.
It's not even in their place. If CAF don't say anything, we go drag CAF.
There's a thing we can't say. There's a thing we won't even say. There's maintenance of stadium and everything, and you're not paying for that stadium you're using. And you're playing against a team that wants to go to the World Cup and have the advantage. You're playing in the country. Automatically, you have more fans. They might even decide to sell only 1,000 tickets to you in a 60,000 capacity.
Now, there's a reason why I disagree with this. That I stay, maybe I come to sport with either Bulu or CJ, and you guys are feeding me, you are taking care of all of the bills. Does it give you enough rights to see my bill?
Okay, if
I fit thief am. I don't thief my bunk. I don't thief my bunk bill before.
So it doesn't give you rights.
I don't know what Brazil is saying.
No,
But we are next example.
Answer this
Are we
one.
are next example?
This one, it does it give you the right?
No, let's use the same one. Does it give you the right to eat your food? Let's put it that way.
By day.
No, food.
Food is, I can get another food.
Oh, you can qualify for another World Cup.
Thank you.
You can get another babe.
No.
Let us put
Like how how CJ stole Jessica now.
From you.
Is there no other option?
Yes,
No,
from
we
you.
don't do that on this show.
Oh.
We don't do that on this show. But seriously, that's an example. You stay with Bolu
You know, be
and you bought a car and Bolu wants to use it. You can't tell him no.
Is that different?
It's the same thing we're talking about now.
You go sleep outside.
No.
His World Cup ticket not valuable.
No. Listen.
It's valuable though.
That's why I used to be, which is something
Car.
going to the World Cup for Lesotho.
Yes. It's
Because they
valuable.
are playing on a South African pitch. You are
Yes.
telling me that it's enough for them to say I'm playing on a pitch. I don't want to go to the World Cup.
Oh, be on that cover.
Wait.
In fact, I'm afraid to
Means
say
for-
one day when-
kiss
If
the
we
for-
Lesotho wait for the World Cup, we'll build them any stadium
me.
of their choice.
Which one? For them to
The
say
same thing
we
that
have a
happened to
chance
Morocco.
to get 3 points, and we say we don't want.
Morocco,
We don't want.
Morocco also they have countries playing their home matches in Morocco, and Morocco now lose the game. How?
No, they can.
You know, you won't even sleep.
They
First
will
of all.
try. They will play their best.
No, you don't get. You won't even sleep. They go play band behind your hotel all night. First of all.
Exactly.
When you want to train, they will off. They will off lights.
But that's a normal thing. That's
Yes,
and
no.
still.
It's the matter those guys do, not us. We don't do that here.
We've
Yeah,
seen it
yeah,
happen,
yeah,
and
super.
then we
So,
Enyimba
yes.
won the Champions League back to back years.
I mean,
All the
yes,
antics
yes.
of the North Africa.
They are still ruling.
And you
It's still a
understand?
league
So,
and the club.
let's not. The fact that you guys
But-
are shameless and you can steal somebody's baby because this is thing.
So, mention police game.
Does it mean that Lesotho or South Africa is a given?
But wait, what if the baby they eye you? Since now you get money, we can walk up the eye South Africa because they're a bigger nation.
Nigeria, South Africa is a bigger nation.
You see, Nigeria is the question.
South
Now.
Africa is in
South Africa big pass us so
They are in the informed team right
for
now.
football now. Yes,
Informed team.
form.
Yeah, informed team.
Okay. Where did they end at the last AFCON?
That's now we beat them now.
Okay, good.
Where are they? No, where are they on the table now, sir?
I like to put that
No, where are they on the table now?
I have to put that out.
Where are they on the
The
table?
luxury of losing 3 points.
Eh,
I have to put that out.
they can dash us with 3 points.
When they did draws for the AFCON in December, where was South Africa still there?
Where are
But the
they?
biggest thing now is
World
can
Cup.
Nigeria beat South Africa in South Africa?
Yes.
Which Nigeria?
Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Oh, I thought.
I like this.
I thought you were talking about Super Eagles. I was scared. The Falcons.
Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Oh, okay, I didn't know it was
So here's what I think a lot of persons don't get.
Mm.
You see this Nigerian team, they can do the unthinkable when you believe they can't.
if Nigeria will need
They
to
can't do
beat
unthinkable
Senegal
anywhere.
in Dakar.
Why they no need to beat Ghana?
We
Ghana.
beat Ivory Coast at the last time when nobody gave us a chance.
And they beat us when nobody gave them a chance. I know the same time they beat us when nobody gave them a
That
chance.
one was the story, grass to grace. So I understand.
Why how come the grace to grass? Eh?
I understand that final. The final was written in stars.
Who write am?
But the gods. The gods of
So they forbid us
Yeah,
to,
because of
upon all our prayer, jazz and everything. They,
And I know why they also won that final, but I've not said this anywhere. Maybe I've said this on PBT for the first time. So a lot of Nigerians went to Cote d'Ivoire and committed a lot of atrocities. So the gods of the land looked at it that these people win this AFCON. Just merely qualifying from group to quarter-final to semi-final, they've committed like this. Maybe 50% of all our ladies will no longer play in Cote d'Ivoire.
CJ, Foden and Green will carry woman go camp. They still win.
This is what the Ivorian girls are using their ways to do during the AFCON.
See what I'm saying? That's why the Super Eagles did not win. People like CJ,
I was talking about the Ivorian girls.
and his cohorts that were there in Ivory Coast. They were the ones that, you know, we pray for the team, we prayed for the team. But then when holiness, when sin is more than holiness, what would the gods do?
The Eagles are really struggling, and they play themselves out in possession. Because it is sad.
No, your confession broke.
It broke my because
I have to do this. It's PBO. It's premium.
Truth is always bitter. So.
Oh wow.
See,
Okay, CJ.
Our boys are not.
Okay.
Our boys are not going to the World Cup.
Okay.
And it's a shame. I wanted to say something. Sorry, I wanted to say something. Maybe Bulu finished when you talk about the 2030 World Cup. Imagine most of these boys have not been to.
Half of them know they go that way. 2030.
Imagine how old they will be by 2030.
Yeah, especially Osimhen was angry. What was that about Osimhen fighting and then telling people using
No. And that's where we bring me back to my opening quote. Chicken has come home to roost. When Osimhen on ring lights abuse Finidi, abuse Nigerians, everybody. NFF never said a word. And now NFF president was coming to console. He first did the right hand. Abai Koshi, assistant coach. We could see now.
Was that the
NFF president, the one on green. Then assistant coach who wore grey. Fidelis
Maybe the
Ilechukwu.
editor should do right to put.
Fidelis Ilechukwu also touched him. He said use the right hand to dust that one up.
I saw
Is it justified?
No,
He scored 3 goals in
Wait.
No, why was he angry? If he's angry, why did he come to the pitch?
No.
If he was angry, he could have gone straight to the dressing room from the bench.
before-
So he entered pitch, he can't display anger.
Before we go far, I saw that particular video too. But it wasn't clear, to be fair.
It was clear.
It was clear to only Bolo money.
It was clear to everybody that saw it.
Yeah, so we don't.
Come over the down line solo call.
It was too clear. Okay, who were the people he was shocking of?
Just normal.
But you saw that angry at what?
He was angry.
Bathroom
He was
staff.
angry.
So why did he vex and go inside the dressing room after final?
That's why he went there. But
No, he came on the pitch. Then went
they
inside.
summoned him.
Who summoned him?
They just said he should come out.
He can't tell you that someone else Koshi. But that Boniface, so that, what does this mean, Oga? Free me. But the person that didn't have sense was Boniface. That one didn't read the room. You could see this guy. Why you go the meter?
Why can't you talk to your guy?
He wanted to cool him down. I mean, they are friends now.
Who?
So wanted to cool him down.
Oh, and now why we say? Now why tell us so you say Koshi? The truth is,
But honestly,
like someone said, why he knows? Why did everybody fight him when he didn't allow us go to World Cup?
Osimhen was so paid.
Osimhen is why we didn't go to last World Cup. All the opening go where they do bicycle kick. So why other players have no they shout for them? Against Ghana, the two games we play against Ghana. Where uncle Peba even spoke. He tell So the truth is, everyone, Bright Osai Samuel had a chance to have scored in the first half. Osimhen, what's the name? Ndidi had a clear cut champion. Moses Simon was out of the game. African best player was out of the game because the truth is they were all played out of position, all of them. But the man that I will choose Kingsley before I choose him. Kingsley know the play ball. Chukwueze. What's Chukwueze doing that? So many of the players were played out of position. They were poor on the day, but the man that was poor all through. Even first leg was Truste Ekong, and it showed. First half they could have considered the goal. That ball that hit side net. Second half himself and Nwabali, what were they doing? That ball that hit back. Then they scored.
Is it playing out of position?
It's part of it.
It.
No, playing out of position too is part. The game against Rwanda, people didn't complain because we won. We didn't play well in that game. But I didn't care because we won. I just wanted us to win. That we will settle performance later. Zimbabwe has 61% possession in Nigeria. So which body we play?
See, I told you my problems in the 4-4 formation.
That I don't even know. Is it 4-4-2 self? It looked like 4-2-3-1 for the first game. Second one looked like 4 something.
It looks like a diamond because at the end of the day, when we are attacking, it's 4-1.
So is
And that's the Zimbabwe game. The first game. The first one was 4-2-3-1 with Chukwueze in middle.
I think it starts with 4-4-2. Then it depends how the attack is.
It's a diamond. Even the coach said it's a diamond. So the diamond is behind Moses Simon and so it's a case of Moses Simon and Osimhen. You have Lookman behind them, and then you have Iwobi on the left, Chukwueze on the right. So that's the diamond formation.
You saw when this boy came on board. You saw when Arokodare came on board.
Yes,
that was the difference. His hold-up play was brilliant.
Yes, but let's see. I want to take this thing slowly. What did they actually do the diamond when we have possession? Like when we have possession,
all out.
They just go 1 base 5.
Like Leicester's 4-1-4-1.
Yeah. So we mentioned something like I don't know if it's here about Bruno. That's why Bruno didn't play.
Yeah.
I would say he's very attack-minded.
For defense solidity, that's why we had Bryce.
Yeah. So now you're playing at home and you want to attack. The best option was Bruno. Take a back to the right back. Because Osai Samuel struggled
in the 2 matches, yep.
Defensively struggled. I don't want to blame people are blaming Akon, yes, deserved. But Osai was looking at the attacker, was just watching him. He was too tired to make a move. He didn't know whether to take his left leg or take the second leg. And when the left back was running past to create space, he lost concentration totally. He just stood. And the man made an easy pass. So I don't want us to start breaking it down, but this team is not ready. Like it's not ready. That's what we've always talked about. Me, I complained about their mentality. I didn't like the fact that they over-celebrated after.
We had an interview with Babayaro, the other brother, Emmanuel. He said, no, this same thing you spoke about mentality was the first few things he spoke about. And someone has said, maybe mentality, how we will say this player. I said, it's a mental block for their club. Yeah. So discipline, mentality high, but Nigeria, nobody feel.
I complained when I saw them celebrating.
Hey, the Rwanda
videos, after beating Rwanda. They said modern players do that. And people say modern players do that. They do it in Europe and blah, blah, blah.
The job was not done.
The job wasn't done. Hard work first. Nothing beats hard work.
Flex later.
You can flex anytime you want. I don't want to talk about the car in the stadium during training. They say it's for brand and everything. They can't wait.
NFF. What I want is NFF brand the same as Super Eagles.
Yeah, they locked out journalists. They locked out fans.
That was the plan,
right? And people lock out the brands for now, so that they play this game.
And that thing was even against the FIFA rule. First 15 minutes of training, you should allow journalists.
Everything about Nigeria, everything about the NFL. I don't believe in this board. Let me just even say it because since they were elected, they've been acting weird. You know, like Bolu said in nice quotes. Maybe I'll follow up with another quote. When we are sleeping, I posted it on my DP. So the former president said it. Said when you are sleeping genuinely, it's easy to wake you up. But when you are pretending to be sleeping,
2 days you never wake up.
It's very difficult to wake up. And that's what the Super Eagles are doing.
Should I tell you guys my joy in all of this? My joy in all of this is that everybody is now getting aware that it's not an Eric Chell problem. Because I know that when it
was a Finidi problem, it was a Pesero problem, but now it's not a Eric Chell problem.
When we brought Eric Chell on board, I heard a lot of complaints. But in all honesty, Eric Chell will take a few sticks from me, truthfully, especially for the second game. But I don't think what cost us all 3 points is on the manager. And here's why I'll say it. We had loads and loads of chances to have buried that game in the first half. Even in the second.
Oh, you meant like first 15 minutes?
Yes. Even in the second half. What the hell was he doing?
Indeed.
But we said it before.
The last time I've seen that kind of
we said it has slowed down.
So and why I say I'll fault him is this, and he said it at the post-match conference that why he didn't replace Osimhen with a defender or a defensive manager was that he felt they are playing at home.
why protect one?
And that was bad. It means he didn't read his game.
Yes, why protect one when we have the opportunity of scoring the second one? Now,
And he had only 2 midfielders, and we were under pressure.
That's why I have issues with him. I'll just pinpoint it, but then this shouldn't paper over the cracks of our own players they don't feel like they want it.
The excuse for the players could be the defenders were not fully protected. We had only 2 midfielders as I when they scored. We needed more.
I've watched the Eagles for almost 30 years.
Leave all those Eagles that you watch. This one now.
I've not been for almost 30 years. I've seen games where during the Westhoff and Bonfrey years, they set up their team and then the players take it upon themselves in that particular match to stand up and be counted.
You talk about mentality.
You get?
Yes,
I'm talking to you guys. Yeah. Now, the semi-finals, Tunisia 94, semi-final. That was one of the games that our tactics did not work against the Ivorians. Like the Basole and all of them, they wanted to wound us in that match. Iroha scored our equalizing goal to make it 2-2 and take that game to penalties. Iroha left back because he noticed that some things are not working here, and he did the 1-2 from left back. And then equalized for us. We now won the game. That was the idea that we were going to win that final. We played against a Zambian team who had that issue from the plane crash and had the kind of Cinderella run that we saw Ivory Coast have at the last AFCON. But this Eagles said no. They scored first. Elijah Litana, I can't forget. And then Amunike, who was not even like a star in that tournament, started that final and scored 2 goals. You look at this match against Zimbabwe and then look at even the Osimhen that was saying it. What, aside from the goal that Osimhen said, what exactly did Osimhen do differently that you will say, oh, it's not about having grab, it's not about, grab. But what exactly?
No, the thing is, Kingsley,
all these things. Ademola Lookman, where I said I want to fault every chair is this. Ademola Lookman was played out of position. No, you don't have a right to play the best footballer in this continent.
I give you the most informed Nigerian player.
You don't have that right. Eric Chell has not earned it at all. So that's why I feel I will fault him. Because if I were to be the coach, and then I've set up this team, first 45 minutes,
my new thing didn't work.
Go back. Looks like a Jeremy Doku 2.0. You can do all the dribblings, his final ball.
And he cleared the ball away.
Now, you might have seen that. I don't think Moses would have started the second half. All I'll just do is this. Why? Ademola Lookman on that left side would have killed Zimbabwe because he takes the ball to his right leg, puts it in the back of the net. His final balls are better than Moses Simon's final ball. I would have just put in a Tulu Alukodare and then take Lookman to that left side. Now, he didn't do that. Second half, we now finally score 1 goal. The moment we had scored 1 goal, let's look at the kind of substitutions he made. You take out Iwobi, who was a controller, because the only controller we had in that game was Iwobi. How do you take out Iwobi for a Raphael Onyedika, not another player that can control? Maybe if we had Fisai or Dele Bashiru, I wouldn't complain. Now, bringing in Onyedika means you now want Ndidi to do the controlling that Iwobi was doing. First, that for me was faulty. Because if you wanted to make any substitution at that point that we had scored, take out Moses Simon. At that point, you have Osimhen, Lookman, and Arokodare, and bring an extra body in either midfield to support Ndidi and Iwobi, or in defense, and let's just go with a back 5. You didn't do that. You also did not bring in a Bruno Nyemechi, who I feel that because of his pace and energy,
so he can easily run like a winger plus a defender.
To end that match. Remember, in the first leg, when Bright Osai Samuel was tired, yes, we didn't have he didn't want to use Jordan Soronariga. He brought in Alassane. Alassane played right back. If you remember against Rwanda, he played right back. But you could see the energy. He was moving, was taking the ball, he could take on players. You need players at the end of games to give you that kind of energy.
Especially in that midfield.
Now,
stop them.
Chel did not do these things because I feel, look at what his opposition coach did. He calculated what we did and then used that to make his own substitution, and then they got the equalizer. So Chel will take his blame. If I have to blame, maybe I'll say 30% of the blame on Chel based on player coach. Now I'm not talking about NFF or anything. 30% on the coach, 70% on the players. So I feel on a good day we should be beating Zimbabwe.
It's not done. You're not done there. You're not done. Do you remember why Mali didn't qualify for the next round in the Nations Cup? Just the Nations Cup. Same scenario. Cote d'Ivoire was down. Mali was leading. Erichel was the coach.
Attacking sub. Everything.
Who's doing attacking subs? Showing he doesn't learn.
He
has been doing the same thing.
They were leading that particular game. They ended up losing that game. Remember, Alan.
He's following Guardiola's template.
So I don't
I'm not saying
I
go
don't
defensive.
care.
Me, I tell
I don't
people,
care.
if you are doing defensive stuff to pack the balls, I don't
Yeah.
like packing from your defense.
But
That
you
midfield,
understand.
block them from that midfield.
Yeah,
From there,
understand-
you had
understand
Papa
the weight
Mustafa
of
on the
the game.
bench.
Who cares?
You mentioned Alassane Yusuf. I'm not a big fan of Joe Aribo, but Joe Aribo was in the midfield. Joe Aribo can also control to an extent
Let's have bodies
because
there.
they were under pressure.
We
The
give them
midfield
the
was
direct
out.
question, that's why I'm pissed.
Yeah, and if you remember before the game when we did the preview, I said if you run at the Eagles, you will run past the Eagles easily. Remember I said
Because
it?
there's no.
I know why I said
no-
it. I
no
know.
cover.
So if we're not playing the formation he's playing, it will be so easy.
Then going by the keeper,
And
the players.
and our players are not good on
Kingston and mention
1v1.
players. Where the players are.
Yeah.
Remember the World Cup against Argentina?
Yeah.
That's the game we played. We couldn't defend one goal to end
Yeah.
that game.
So it-
Look at the Algeria game. We couldn't die there. We committed a foul, but it was too close. It was too late. I go back to Real Madrid, Atletico. That Fede Valverde tackle. Nigeria, Morata would have run to go and score. Sometimes you need to make these crazy decisions. Immediately they started,
Suarez did it.
they started tackling from that midfield, pull him down. What's his yellow card?
Yes,
And
now.
then you have
Yeah, you have to have that mental awareness. Yeah.
And then teams do it. 1-0. If you notice that they are having unnecessary morale, Baba sit down for now.
Yes, now. You just kill the
You hold your boots, you
Guys,
hold everything.
let's kill this part of the show too. After the break, we'll do FPL and premium backers will be back. Welcome back, guys. Yes, sir. That was a very, very hot session. Yeah. But it's time to wrap things up. Let's make some money. FPL, yes, a fantasy, and then also premium backers. Guys, fantasy. I've been doing very poorly. I think this season is over for me. I'll just endure till the end, lose some more money. CJ understands, and then come again next season. How about you? What's your experience?
I'm not down, but I'm not doing well. Just that the one group, I'm just hoping April will turn out well. So maybe I feel even win yes.
Okay. I think CJ is doing quite well.
But CJ is behind me now.
CJ is making the right.
That means all those groups. If I did those on a group, I would not the cash out since.
All right, top transfers out this game week. I'm not surprised. Palmer is injured. There has been Alexander Arnold also is injured. But Palmer should be back.
I know she be back, but I think I slowed down even before because I knew it was.
Wood also picked up an injury. Hall out of the season. Mbuemo, why are people selling Mbuemo?
Is Sha not injured, ja?
He's not injured.
No problem.
Okay, is it because the FA Cup doesn't affect?
If they allow me to sell, I'm not concerned. Is Sha not injured?
No, top transfers in. Bruno Fernandes tops it. I'm not surprised. There's Omar Mamouche, there's Isaac, there's Munoz, and then there's Ismail Assar.
I think the person that will have the biggest points this week, if everything goes to plan with the Kingsley, because he has Haaland, and it's difficult to buy Haaland into your team now, and they're paying Leicester.
I know they won't buy him. Wait,
So
but I'm
they're paying
saying,
Leicester.
I don't have Salah anymore.
So they're paying
I
Leicester.
sold him because they were not going to play.
Yeah, with the FA
So,
Cup.
I'm thinking, okay, I can use the money
They
to
can
buy
bring
Haaland.
them. So, me, I don't know how to bring
I go
Haaland.
How about your Bruno?
I go sign two of them because I think I sold Trent. Or I will sell Trent. I can sign Haaland and Salah back.
Do you borrow money from Lapo?
I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like players.
I can get
I don't
both of them.
understand.
Okay, guys.
But Bruno, you mentioned they are playing against Nottingham Forest,
I
so
think I have-
that's tricky for them.
Is it
People
Forest?
are buying him. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Is it
But
Forest or
it's the
not?
highest. It's
Yeah.
the highest.
Bruno. Look, I think I bought him since I
My
can
flow.
keep him back.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. Let's make some money for everyone, and then just look at your screen, and then you get to see what these guys did last time out. Absolutely fantastic. They keep killing it, and I'm proud of the two of them. And then Bolu, whilst they are displaying your punters choices for the week, what do you have to say?
If not that I display my punters, I should have shown them that gets me.
More powder.
This is
More-
what
more powder.
gets me.
More
This is
powder.
what I want my predictions to be doing now. Just gets me. Gets me. Not the other parts that you and Jessica are sharing.
Get you win.
Just the gets me.
But for me, this
Okay,
week,
Bolu is done. Let's go to CJ. CJ.
for this week, I'm aiming for a perfect score. Or let's say we are aiming for perfect scores. Because we've come close twice. Since 10. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Nearly cannot kill a bird. Let's hope that we hit
the target and strike the rod while it is hot. On this note, I want to say big thank you to Bolu Omoni and to Chijioke Ezeali. It's always fantastic doing this with you, Bolu. Always a pleasure to do this. Chijioke, it's always a pleasure to do this. Yeah.
This one more time.
Yes.
Very easy.
Okay, good. Special thanks to also all of you out there who get to make out time to watch our production week in, week out. And to the guys behind the camera, yes, the guys behind the camera doing so well. There's one man who is so popular, the whole of my two knows him. Even the insect also bow before him. He's also behind the camera. And to the delectable and wonderful stolen one by CJ from Bolu Omoni, Jessica behind the camera. Special thanks to you. And to one man who is also the PA of Mr. Emeka. Yeah, you guys should ask around when we are done with this show who he is. He's also right there. I remain the amazing Kingsley. I'll see you guys. Bye.
Premium Box Office TV. Everyone loves premium. Premium Box Office TV is exclusive on StarTimes.